It's the front door.
Hello. May I help you?
I hope so. The name is Knight. Gabriel Knight. The Abbé at Rennes-le-Chateau recommended you as a Templar scholar.
Did he now?
Yep, he said go talk to Larry Chester about the Templars. And then he said, and let me know what you think.
Well, in that case, you'd better come in. Can I get you some tea?
No, thank you.
Now then, what can I do for you, Mr. Knight?
Madame Girard mentioned that the Holy Grail is sometimes linked to the Templars.
It is, yes. In many of the early Grail legends, the knights were described as Templars, wearing the white mantle with a red cross.
She said something about them actually finding the Grail in the Holy Land. Do you think that's possible?
Yes, I do.
So you think the Templars found the Holy Grail in Jerusalem and brought it back here?
Let me put it this way. When the Templars were founded in 1118, there were 9 knights. Their stated purpose was to protect pilgrims on the road. But for years they did nothing of the sort. They were given quarters in the Temple of Solomon by King Baduin himself. There they stayed, and there they excavated for 9 years. Then, in 1128, they changed completely. They returned to Europe and began recruiting. Their wealth and power grew on an unprecedented curve.
So you do think they found the Grail?
I think you're taking the legend of the Grail a little too literally. As with many things of the Middle Ages, it was often wiser and safer to speak in allegory.
What's the Holy Grail an allegory of?
I have a feeling that will come to light sometime in the next decade.
The Abbé mentioned that you're working on a book.
Yes, I'm a historian.
And you're writing about the Templars?
Oh, exactly. This area is rich in Templar history. That's why I thought I'd come here to write. It's a kind of sabbatical, really.
A sabbatical from what?
I teach at a prep school in Manchester.
Is there any reason to think the Templars left something here, specifically?
It's not unknown that the Templars were digging in the region. They claimed they were mining the old Roman gold veins, but they hired only German workers who couldn't communicate with the locals. Naturally, that led to some speculation.
I read in the museum that several of the Templar founders and the Grand Master were from this region.
That's true. They also had several bases here and owned a great deal of land. The Chateau de Serres, for example, was built on top of an old Templar fortress.
Why were the Templars accused of heresy?
There are many theories, but most scholars agree that King Philip was jealous of their authority. He wanted to confiscate their land and their reputed treasure. Unfortunately, the Templars themselves helped him make his case. They boasted of the secrets they'd learned in the Holy Land.
Secrets?
Mystical secrets from Kabbalists and Arabic astronomers. Of course, to Christendom this was nothing but witchcraft. Those who confessed were released. Those who did not were burnt at the stake, including the last Grand Master, Jacques Molay.
And they dissolved completely after that?
The Knights Templar were no more, yes.
The Templars had a lot of wealth, right? Gold, money, land.
Absolutely.
And that's one possibility for the alleged local treasure? The Templar stash?
Yes, but
You don't think so?
they had warning before their arrest. Perhaps some chose to believe that the church would ultimately protect them, but they had enough sense to move the treasure.
To where?
There are various locations. Ireland and Scotland have a great deal of Templar history, for example.
If the Templars smuggled out their treasure, wouldn't that sort of blow the Grail theory?
Perhaps there were some things that were too large or too, shall we say, localized to take with them. No, they left something behind in the Languedoc. You can be sure of that, Mr. Knight.
Thanks for the info, Mr. Chester.
You're most welcome. What is your interest in the Templars, if you don't mind my asking?
No, I don't mind. Thanks again. It looks like the cavalry has arrived.
Gabriel, are you all right?
Why? Is my hair messed up? I'm Knight. Prince James told me to be expecting you.
Is there somewhere more private where we can talk?
Yeah, I have a room. Come on up.
Here's your fee, Mr. Knight. Prince James wanted me to express his gratitude to you for tracking the kidnappers.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything since this morning?
I checked at the train station. The taxi driver saw the two men in the trunk. They were picked up by a black sedan. He didn't get the model, but he said it looked expensive.
Did he say which way they went?
They headed for the main valley loop.
Anything else?
Well, I haven't seen any trace of the baby, but there's a tour group staying here. Most of them arrived last night. None of them are the men from the train, but they might be linked somehow. Emilio Bazza and a Signore Buccelli arrived at the hotel around the time of the Paris train. Buccelli claims he came in on a train from Naples, but Cuiza doesn't have a Naples route.
Very curious. We'll look into it.
Wait, there's something I didn't tell Prince James on the phone.
Yes?
When I was coming to on the train, I heard one of the kidnappers say something in French. I remember the word Sangreal. It means Holy Grail. Do you have any idea what the Holy Grail might have to do with Prince James' son?
I'm sorry. We're not authorized to discuss Prince James's affairs. But thank you for your observations. Good night, Miss Nakamura. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, you too. Thanks for the lift.
Goodbye, Miss Nakamura. Mr. Knight?
Damn, I thought we had a case.
We do.
Well, Prince James let you go.
Yeah, that's his prerogative.
Wait, but if the kidnappers weren't the night visitors...
Who says they weren't? I saw them. There was something not right about them at all.
Okay, what about the Sangreal thing? What would vampires want with the Holy Grail?
I don't know.
Well, McDougal and Mallory sure seem to know. Maybe Prince James has the Grail, and the kidnapping is an attempt at blackmail.
I don't think Prince James has the Grail. Look, there's this whole treasure hunting thing linked to this town. I don't have time to explain. Could you please hook up Sydney and check out the Grail and vampires?
Yeah, sure.
And, looks like you might have to stay with me. The hotel's booked up.
Oh. Oh, all right. Say, do you mind waiting till tomorrow morning on the research thing? I have to get Sydney configured and I am pretty beat.
No, that's fine. You must have been really worried. Sorry, Gracie. I'm gonna go keep an eye on my replacements.
Bye.
Oui, qui est-ce?
Arno, is it then?
Oui, yes. Who are you?
Hold him.
Who are you?
We're Scots, God help you.
You are hurting me.
Where's the bairn?
I don't know what you...
The baby. Prince James's baby. If you've harmed him...
I don't know what you are talking about.
Last night, Prince James of Albany's son and only heir was taken from his house.
You don't think we had anything to do with it? That's preposterous.
Is it now? Then why were the kidnappers followed to Coisa?
Quiza?
On the train.
Well, I have no idea. I swear to you, the order had nothing to do with it.
Perhaps you were not informed.
No. Well, why would they bring the infant here then? If they were going to do something so outrageous, I assure you, they would not bring him to Rennes-le-Château. You are mistaken, sir.
We find the baby unharmed, or all negotiations cease immediately.
But one thing has nothing to do with the other. Surely Prince James has other...
We'll be back tomorrow. You'd better have an answer, Arno.
c'est Arnaud à l'appareil. Il faut que je parle au grand maître. Mais bien sûr que c'est urgent. Allô? Je regrette de vous déranger, messieurs, mais je viens d'avoir la visite plutôt pénible de 2 hommes de Prince James. Ils prétendent donc qu'on a enlevé le fils de Prince James. Ils disent avoir suivi les kidnappeurs à la trace jusqu'à la gare de Cuisa. Et ils semblent convaincus que nous y sommes pour quelque chose. C'est bien ce que je leur ai dit. Mais je voulais vous l'entendre dire vous-même. Mais alors qui a... Mais c'est nous qu'ils accusent. Ils menacent de boycotter les pourparlers tant que le bon bain ne leur aura pas été retourné. Je n'en sais rien, je vous jure. Ça ne peut être que des ennemis personnels du prince. C'est peut-être les Anglais. Je m'en occupe de mon côté. Au revoir.
So, Bocelli, did you have a productive day?
It was relaxing, Mr. Wilkes.
Relaxing? You must not be looking for treasure then. Nothing relaxing about that.
Sì, certo. I am a scholar, not a hunter of fortune.
Glad to hear it. There's too many damn snoops around here.
Are there? Why, who do you mean?
Hell, why don't you join me if we're going to talk? I ain't eating alone. I don't know where the hell the women are.
Very well.
Guess all that sun made him hungry. Didn't do much for his aroma either. Evening, Wilkes.
Night. You, still looking for something to do?
Oh, I'm still looking. How's the food?
The French. I'd rather have snakes than stuffing myself.
Ah, that does sound delightful. I'll just be over here.
Oh, Monsieur Knight, I hope your head is feeling better.
It is, actually. Thanks for asking. Did you see or hear a baby last night?
No, Monsieur Knight, not at the hotel. I hear my niece at home, maybe, but here there are no babies staying at the hotel.
I was looking at the register. Do you remember exactly when people arrived last night?
Let me think. The big group arrives together maybe 7:30, and later Monsieur Baza.
What time?
Maybe 9 o'clock? No, more like 10, I think. Then you, maybe an hour later. Then Signore Buccelli.
What time did Buccelli get here?
Just after midnight, I remember, because the clock chimes at midnight, and I sometimes get a bit nervous, and I lock the door. Signore Buccelli came after I locked it. I had to let him in.
Nervous? What do you get nervous about?
Oh, Monsieur Knight, we have many old legends in this area.
You didn't see two men with a trunk last night, did you? Maybe outside in the parking lot or driving around town?
No, not in town. This is a very quiet place, monsieur. Monsieur Mosley and Monsieur Wilkes arrived with a tour group, but I do not remember a trunk.
Okay, thanks.